Hi, welcome to Julius Bar. Today we're gonna have a couple of poets' dreams. So a poet's dream is a cocktail which origins I'm not quite sure about, because I saw some sources says 1930s, some other sources citing an Esquire book of was from 1949. Anyway, I'm gonna propose today you two versions of a drink, and let's start from the one that was quoted in the Squire Handbook of Ost, which is a cocktail which is equal parts dry gin, Bénédictine and Carpano. Today I'm gonna propose a slightly different version, adjusted as for the default guide, where it lowers slightly the amount of Bénédictine, but otherwise it's the same. So let's start mixing it. Let's start from our Bénédictine, and we are just gonna use 15 milliliters of this. Bénédictine, the kind of sweet and thick herbal liqueur from France. I'm not the biggest fan of this, but I admit it has its places. Then we go with some dry vermouth. I'm opening this bottle of Carpano Dry, which has become my favorite dry vermouth. It's floral and still dry. So 22.5 milliliters of this. And then 22.5 milliliters of dry gin. I'm gonna use this new one I got. It's called a Tokyo Hachio Gin, made in Tokyo in Hachioji, which actually is pretty far from where I live because it's on the west side of the city, a bit outside. This I got from Aloha Whiskey, a super awesome whiskey and rum bar, and he also has a few other things here in Ikebukuro. The guy is really nice, and he started selling this one because he tasted and he found it particularly smooth, and I would have to agree, it's quite citrusy, really smooth at 45% ABV. He also has a kind of maltiness to it, and pretty acidic and not so dry. It's nice, and I can't wait to try it in this cocktail. So 22.5 milliliters of this one, and let's get some ice, and let's give this a good stir. By the way, Aloha Whiskey is the place where they shoot the videos of Kampai Planet, another channel here on YouTube, which I already mentioned in my Tankandesu video, where I showed off some other Japanese gins. Pretty interesting. I would say Japan is 5 years later than Europe on the gin mania. I guess that started about 10 years ago or more in Europe. All these craft gin started popping up. Japan arrived a few years later, but now they are catching on. There are a ton of craft Japanese gins, and some of them quite good, because when Japanese people put some effort in it, they can do really good things. Not when they make Toshiba washing machine. I just had to change my Toshiba washing machine, which I bought made in Japan, because I was like, let's stay national, and it was a utter piece of shit. Lasted only 4.5 years, leaked everywhere, didn't perform as it should have, and I had to buy something that's not Japanese anymore, but that's really sad. Anyway, I'm gonna prepare a really small chilled martini shaped V glass, because this is quite a small cocktail. And let's pour it in. It fits just right. And let's finish with some lemon peel. And there you go, a poet's dream. Cheers. This is an excellent cocktail. I tried before with different gins. With this one it's even softer. It's really pleasant, really nice. A bit herbal, but not too much. The dry vermouth counterbalance the sweetness of the Bénédictine quite well. I really like this. Not quite a martini, definitely not, because it's not as dry. But we are gonna add more toward the martini side with our next version. The next version, I found a couple of sources for it, and again the origin is quite muddled. All I could really be sure about that it's popular nowadays in New York. The default guy call it a poet's martini, other website call it still a poet's dream, but anyway the ingredients are pretty much the same, but we're gonna have a lot more gin as opposed to other ingredients. Let's get started. Let's start with a couple of dashes of orange bitters. These are from Scrappy, which I can confirm they are definitely more bitter than the one from Angostura. I just made a test yesterday again. Then we go on with 7.5 milliliters of Bénédictine, so quite less than in the other version. We continue with 22.5 milliliters or 3/4 of an ounce of our dry vermouth. And we finish with 60 milliliters of gin. So really, we are gonna have a lot more gin as compared to the other ingredients. Then we're gonna get some ice. And give this a stir until it's nicely chilled. By the way, this time we're gonna use a normal sized V-shaped martini glass, as we are gonna have a few more milliliters of alcohol and other liquids meaning water from the ice. And maybe we are done, let's see. Let's strain and then finish again with some lemon peel. And there you go, a poet's dream heavy on the gin, also called a poet's martini in some circles. Cheers. You know how I said in many of my videos, including the perfect martini video, I said that I like stuff in between. I'm not a big fan of this Poet's Martini, which is in between a Poet's Dream and a Martini. I think it kinda loses the plot along the way, kind of like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Doesn't quite convince me. The Poet's Dream is his own thing, and I really like it because it's not dry, but it has purpose. In the Poet's Dream Classic, the gin take a step back to the Bénédictine. In the Poet's Martini, let's call it like that, it's really like a hybrid between a Martini and a Poet's Dream. Not quite a Martini, not quite a Poet's Dream. The Bénédictine is just slightly there, and yeah, I don't know. Not for me, really. I wouldn't suggest it. I don't know why. I usually like stuff in between, but not this time. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Steal yourself a drink, and hopefully I will see you next time. Cheers. When I wake up early in the morning, lift my head, I'm still yawning. By the way, this picture I have here on the fridge is by Shinpei Asai. It's a New York in the 1970s. And I was watching the documentary on the Beatles, 8 Days a Week it's called, the one by the Redder from Happy Days. What's the famous director of Cocoon and Rush? That was a good movie. His daughter, she's in the Jurassic movies. Forgot his name. Anyway. No, wait. His daughter, is she in the Jurassic movie, or she's the other redhead that was in that episode of Black Mirror? Yeah, she's the other one. Anyway, the documentary about the Beatles, at some point when they are talking about the Beatles coming to Japan, they interview this Shinpei Asai, which was the guy photographing the Beatles on their famous tour in 1960. Let's see, it was one of their last tour, May 66? Something like that. It was the tour in support of Rubber Soul, I think. I could be wrong. Well, anyway. Just a tidbit about this picture. When